So I was sitting around the other night working on this scooter. It's almost done. And I had a thought. As I was editing the footage, I thought, is AI haunted? Is AI evil? Does AI have ill will for humankind? I was cleaning out the garage as I was thinking about that. And it seemed like stuff was not in the place that I left it, which was weird. Seemed a little bit off. But then it kind of got me thinking, are there tiny people living among us? Are there little tiny animals? Maybe? Of course, I thought that is totally impossible. I don't live in any sort of reality where there are tiny little people running around, at least not to my knowledge. There are tiny people, I mean, I don't know, whatever the term is. I think dwarf. Is that right? Don't get mad at me if I'm not right. Either way, I don't think there was little tiny people running around in the garage, moving stuff around at night. As cool as that would be, as much as I like the movie The Indian in the Cupboard, I don't think that's real. But it actually got me kind of thinking about tiny little objects, and I was kind of wondering if the Frogman from Loveland has come back to reclaim his throne as the ultimate cryptid. What do you guys think? Have you heard of that? The Frogman of Loveland? Have you heard of that? No? Well, you're about to. It's Fang's garage. It's some weird stories, and I'm cleaning up the garage. I was gonna do a video about, well, let me put in some sort of flashy intro. Before diving into the whole Frogman of Loveland, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Yogurt Water. Thank you, Yogurt Water, for sponsoring this video. Everyone at Fang's Garage really appreciates the support. Guys, go check out Yogurt Water. Of course, it's yogurt water. It's just the water from the top. Check them out at yogurtwater.com, or you can check out the links at fangsgarage.com. Check it out. The airplane flying over. Yeah, check it out, fangsgarage.com. It's in the garage. It's kind of like EA Sports, but it's not in the game. It's in the garage. The year 1955. The place, Branch Hill, Ohio. If you've been to Branch Hill, which I am sure a lot of you have, you'll remember that it is a small community, and it's a quiet one. And on that morning in 1955, Henry stepped out of his house and got into his car and noticed something, that it was, although it was a quiet community, that morning it was a little too quiet. So Henry, like any good participant in a horror movie, decided to ignore his gut instinct and got in his car, said, you know what, let me crank up the tunes and head off to work. Let me go make some of this money. Henry's driving down the road, not thinking twice about anything, looks out his side window as he's approaching this small bridge and sees something weird. Now, granted, there are plenty of things that are weird on the side of the road. Heck, the other day I actually saw somebody using one of those little three-wheel scooter things as a mode of transportation going down the side of the road. But this thing that Henry saw was a little bit stranger than that. And what Henry saw that morning was described as leathery skinned with a frog face, 3 to 4 feet tall. And there wasn't just one of them. There was 3 of them.
What's up, dude?
So that would give you 2 options. You could either be terrified. Kids these days racing their motorcycles. If you're anything like me, that might be something that is very cool to see, although shocking. I might be very excited to see 3 toad men standing there next to the bridge. Other versions of the story say that they were under or over a bridge, a poorly lit bridge. And there's even another version that says that one of them held up a magic wand over their head that was spraying sparks out of it. Again, these are all just secondhand stories, but I'd like to think that maybe there is a frogman out there in Loveland, Ohio. Maybe the frogman exists. Now, one person's account of there being a 3 to 4 foot tall frogman with a magic wand on a bridge might not be that convincing, but it might be convincing if a couple police officers actually said that they saw it too. March 3rd, 1972, almost 20 years later, Officer Ray Shockey was driving down Riverside Drive and reported to see a 3 to 4 foot tall, leathery skinned animal scurry across the road. He said it weighed 50 to 75 pounds, and he said it ran across the highway like this. Let me get a good... Before it stood up on its, he said it ran across like a frog before it stood up on its hind legs and crawled over a barrier to get across it. Did you really think that was enough evidence? Well, it was not enough evidence because another police officer saw a frogman when Mark Matthews saw the frogman in the same vicinity as the original sighting. And that key difference? When Mark Matthews saw that frogman, he went into his police vehicle and grabbed his firearm and said, "Enough is enough. I'm putting an end to the frogman mystery." Now, I can only assume that Mark Matthews had some sort of tactical training, because when he lined up those iron sights on that gigantic frogman and pulled the trigger, now I can...
My leg!
It was done. That thing was dead. As dead could be. As dead as a dead frog. Or a dead giant frogman. And if you think for even a second of time that Mark Matthews was the type of man to shoot a gigantic frogman and then just leave the body there, you're wrong. Because he recovered the body. Did you really think that Mark Matthews was that type of a person to just kill a gigantic frogman cryptid and just leave the body there? No, he needed the evidence. He got the biggest evidence collection bag that he could possibly muster out of the back of his police cruiser, and he stuffed that gigantic frogman into that evidence bag. Mark Matthews is about to become a local legend. The guy who killed the frogman. And he's about to prove all those rumors to be true. So he headed back to the police station to show Officer Shockey. And he was in for a Shockey. Quite the Shockey. Because, you see, when he popped that trunk and he showed Officer Shockey the gigantic frogman that he had killed with his service weapon, Shockey couldn't believe it. He confirmed that that was actually the creature that he had seen on the road. And that creature that he saw on the road, it was a gigantic 3 to 4 foot tall iguana without a tail. That's what they try to tell people. Matthews, he shot an iguana without a tail and claimed, yeah, this is what it was. Are you sure about that? Because to me, this kind of sounds like some kind of weird cover-up, Mark Matthews. Whenever Officer Shockey agreed that was the creature that he saw, it sounds like he was under duress. It sounds like maybe somebody took out that service weapon one more time and was saying it was just an iguana, right, Shockey? And Shockey said, yeah, it's just an iguana. It just didn't have a tail. Or maybe it wasn't his service weapon that he was holding up to Officer Shockey's head. Maybe it was a magic wand.
No. Wait.
Tiny people. Are they real? I'm not talking about Ant-Man or your cousin Shirley, who's a little bit short. I'm not even talking about your algebra teacher that was really mad that you got a D and that you had to be there in summer school. I'm talking about little tiny people and little tiny animals. Are they real? In a prehistoric well in India, a 15-inch man was found, fossilized. He's just a little fossil, a little tiny guy, this big, fossilized, found in a well in India. Lies 15-inch man in a prehistoric well in India was enough for them? No, it was not, because simultaneously they found a 18-inch little tiny cow. That's 18 inches. Can you imagine a cow that was this big? I mean, I know that they are this big at some point, but I'm saying a fully grown cow, 18 inches, running around with a little prehistoric mummy guy who's 18 inches. Well, that turned out to be a hoax. At least that's what they say, because of the simultaneous discovery of the little tiny guy and the little tiny cow. Or maybe that's just what they want you to believe, because there was an actual little tiny guy. He was a mummy that was found in, I believe it's called the San Pedro mummy. If you want to check that out, that's an actual real thing. I don't know. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. They want you to believe that it's not. But me, personally, I'd like to believe that there are little tiny people living amongst us. I'd like them to maybe clean up around here. I mean,
Nope.
that would be great if they
Nobody
could
got time for
possibly help with some of this. But that is not actually what I need help with, guys. What I need help with is answering this question. Is AI haunted or evil or possibly out to destroy mankind? This is the scooter project that I've been working on for the last couple of months. The video for it will be out pretty soon. But that's not what this part is about. This part is about this haunted part, possibly. When I was making this seat, I was going to make one of those transition clips where you throw the fabric or whatever and it lands on the thing and it's instantly on there. Like this. And basically, I was standing right here. I had the camera just sitting on, I can't remember what it was, tripod or something. I had the seat sitting right there, and I had the fabric, and I threw it on top of the seat. I'm going to insert the clip right here so you guys can see what it was supposed to look like. Okay, now you can see what it was supposed to look like. That is not what it turned out to be. My helmet is there. I purposely didn't move that. Some of the things were moved, obviously. including the seat. But this is what happened when I went and exported the video. Did you see that thing? That little black bowl looking thing that like went up and scurried across the seat? None of that happened. This is exactly the sequence of events that happened. The seat was right there. I went like this with the fabric, threw it on top of the seat, walked over there, and when it landed on there, I made sure that I didn't move the seat too much because I wanted to try and make it line up. And I was just like folding the fabric around the seat, and then just carefully walked away, and then let it continue recording the video. And then that was that. I just cut the video and trimmed it so that I wasn't in the video doing any of it. It just threw it on there and it landed on there, and that's it. But the weird thing was I went to go export it, and I was getting ready to post it, and I was like, I saw it out of the corner of my eye because I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, what was that? I went back and watched it, and I was like, what is that? I could not figure it out. Showed my coworkers at work. Everyone that saw it either thought that I used AI to mess with it or thought it was some sort of stop motion, which both of those make sense to me. But I went back and looked at the original footage and saw, is there some sort of effect on there? Is there something on there that is possibly making this, like, I don't know, glitch out or something? And there was one thing that was on there that I did not notice right away. The thing that was on there that I think had something to do with it was basically the transition. Whenever we were cutting together the clips on the Instagram Edits app, there's an option for like transitions. You could do transition like this, and all of a sudden I'm right here. Or you could do a transition like this. Now I'm over here. See? Transition. Now I'm over here. Anyways, so that's the only thing that I could think of, and that's the only thing that was applying. And the transition that was between the two clips was it was called dissolve, and it basically makes it so it dissolves the two, or no, it was called fuse actually. I think it's like, maybe it's using AI to fuse the two things together. I'm not sure. But whenever I took that effect off, that actually fixed it, and that is what I believe the problem was. But that doesn't answer my question. Is AI haunted or evil, or how does it even work? Nobody truly knows how AI works, but what I do know is, even if that was some sort of AI glitch or something, let's say, why did it just make that weird little clip? Look at this clip again. That was weird, right? Is that not weird? It just completely made up this little scene. And what makes it really weird is that somehow the AI was able to recognize that, like the shape of the seat, it even moves stuff out of the way. There's like a couple little bagged things right there, and it like actually moves them out of the way. I'm not convinced on if it's evil, if AI is sentient, if it is assembling gigantic robots to possibly take over the planet and enslave humankind. I don't know if we would even stand a chance if it was something like the T-1000, because clearly, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was having kind of a difficult time taking that guy down, and I mean, honestly, I probably would have given up fairly soon into it. I mean, I don't know if they programmed that ability into Arnold Schwarzenegger or not, but if they did, and I was him, I'd probably say, man, I'm not dealing with this. I just shot him with a grenade launcher, and he's not stopping. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is the Frogman real, and should he fight Bigfoot? Are there little teeny tiny people running around at night in my garage, taking my stuff and moving it all around and not cleaning up the mess? Is AI really evil and planning to assemble gigantic robots to take over Earth? I don't know. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I can't be worrying about all that stuff. I'm gonna find out the truth.